evening, everyone. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, Mayor Teresa Rich, Mayor Pro Tem Michael Bridges, and City Council Member John Aldred. My name is Alex Clark. I'm the current chair of the Farmington Hills Beautification Commission. The commission has 8 members currently. I'd like to have the commission members who are here please stand up and make themselves known. I believe Betty Poole, there she is, and we have Kathy Brown, and we also have fellow member Jawahar Babu, who is walking around with the camera. This commission is a member of a statewide organization to keep Michigan beautiful. We are also a charter of District 1, Beautification Council of Southeast Michigan. Our commission, which has been around since the early 1960s, has, as of this year, completed our 11th annual community litter walk, known as the Carol Posby Litter Walk. The walk is to help promote litter control along our city roads. This year, we had about 28 groups comprised of about 228 volunteers from various neighborhoods, schools, and places of worship from around the city. In addition, we've had this year a popular spring and fall plant swap event that was held at Heritage Park. Lastly, our biggest project is this event, our annual awards ceremony. We spend a lot of time reviewing the nominations that are submitted by you, the public, also determining the awards criteria, and our commission members go out on site to review the locations that are nominated for these awards. In any event, we are always looking for new projects and ideas to adopt for the Beautification Commission. We are also looking for new members for the board. We meet the 3rd Tuesday of every month except December. If you have a new idea, or if you are interested in joining our commission, please feel free to contact any of the members that are present here today, or please feel free to show up at one of our meetings, which are open to the public. At this time, I would like to introduce the Farmington Hills City Manager, Gary Mexian, to speak.
Good evening, everybody. So glad to have you all here this evening. Just wanted to give a big Farmington Hills thank you for all that you do and what the commission does, and the awardees this evening. Kudos for helping keep our city of Farmington Hills the beautiful city that it is, and we all know that it always has been. Unfortunately, Charmaine Kettler-Schmaltz, who was the director of planning and community development, couldn't be in attendance this evening. She's doing double duty. She actually has a planning commission meeting this evening. So, and our staff, our planner is actually out of town on vacation. So she sends her warmest regards to everybody in the room. I would also invite you to help perpetuate and continue the beauty in our city. We're all Farmington Hills residents. We all are concerned about our community and keeping it looking its very best. If you see any violations, zoning issues, trash, things that don't look right, signs, things that don't look beautiful, you can feel free to contact me at 248-871-2500, the city manager's office. And you can feel free to call Charmaine in Community Development and Planning, and we'll go out and take a look at that. So it's very important for us in our city to keep things looking beautiful. So once again, well done. And with that, I have the great pleasure of introducing our Mayor, Teresa Rich.
Well, good evening, everyone. What a wonderful thing that the Beautification Awards are now here at the historic Longacre House. I remember not that many years ago, we used to have this event at the Caustic Center, which is fine, but this is so pretty. And it really suits the event and the hard work that all of you put into making sure that our city just shines. I have a little anecdote. So recently, Oprah Winfrey was in town and had a little event at one of our local businesses. And when she was doing her warm-up of the crowd, she talked about how she loved driving through Farmington Hills and how the homes were beautiful. And I don't know if any of you know Ernie McClellan. He's the chair of the library board. She was talking to Ernie at the time and said, "And I love the porches here. And it's so pretty. And I wanted to just come and sit on one of your porches." The work that you do in our neighborhoods, the work that you do in our businesses, the work that you do, as our city manager, Gary Mection, said, to call code enforcement, right? Make sure that we're all standing tall in this city is so critical to what we do. And I very much appreciate what you're doing. If there's any time that you want one of our council members or me to come out and see something you're doing, give us a call. We're here to represent you, and we are here to cheer you on because our job is to be the best cheerleaders the city has ever seen. So as someone who sees our role as promoting joy, optimism, and resilience, what you do to make our city shine is right on target with that. Thank you for helping make Farmington Hills more of a destination than we already were. Have a good night.
Today we are delighted to welcome Ashley Smith, the Nature Center Supervisor for the City of Farmington Hills. With over 13 years of service, Ashley brings a wealth of experience to her role, overseeing the Nature Center and its diverse programs. She holds the Michigan Alliance for Environmental and Outdoor Education's Environmental Education Certification, as well as Certified Interpretive Guide Trainer status from the National Association of Interpretation. A proud resident of Farmington Hills, Ashley is passionate about creating and maintaining native landscapes, both in her own garden and within Heritage Park. Through her work, she actively shares the joys and benefits of native gardening, helping to cultivate a community where both people and wildlife can thrive. Please join me in welcoming Ashley Smith.
As far away as I could, sorry. Thank you. All right, well, thank you, everyone. I'm Ashley Smith. I work at the Nature Center just right down the hill there from where we're sitting. Raise your hand if you've had the pleasure of visiting Heritage Park or the Nature Center before. Wonderful. Good. That's the best way to visit. Well, I'm so glad that you have taken advantage of the jewel that is Heritage Park in our wonderful city of Farmington Hills. And I am so proud and lucky to work there and oversee both the facility and all of our wonderful programs that we can offer to the community. We like to say we have something for everyone, so hopefully you can find something there to enjoy. If you have questions about the Nature Center, I'm happy to answer those later. I'm putting on a little bit of a different hat for you this evening because I heard that some of you in the room are gardeners, so I thought maybe I should talk about that a little bit. So I really want to talk about native plants and native gardening. If you have visited the Nature Center in Heritage Park, you probably noticed that we have converted some spaces to native grow zones and all the work that we're doing there. So I'll talk a little bit about that and then my own journey with native plants. My little mouse is over here. Sorry. This is how I'm going to flip through. Hopefully it works. There we go. Okay. Yay. Okay, so we're here for the Beautification Awards, right? So what is beautification? Quite simply, it's to make something beautiful, right? To improve the appearance. And so beauty sometimes is in the eye of the beholder, but we're gonna look at a couple of pictures here that I have to share and just, kind of think about what the picture means to you and how it might make you feel, what thoughts come to mind when you're looking at the photo. How are the pictures similar? How are they different? So I don't know if you can see if I'm standing here, but I'll just kind of flip through and just let you look at them first. Okay, so I'm just gonna head backwards here for just a second. And I'm doing a mouse, so forgive me, it's not a clicker, so I just have to, we get to look at them again. Ooh and ah. So does anyone feel comfortable sharing how they felt or some thoughts they had about the pictures or how they are the same or different? Anyone want to share? Yes.
The first three pictures are nice, they're manicured, but I see a monoculture.
Okay, what's a monoculture?
Yeah, turf grass, and that's it.
Sure.
High maintenance.
One, all of the same thing? Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of work that's involved. There's got a lot of trimming, I know.
You're looking at it like that's a lot of work.
It's nice, but it looks exhausting to
Okay.
me, whereas when you get to the other ones, it's very
Calming.
exhale and it's very
Sure.
calming.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else? Are there any similarities in the pictures?
They're all beautiful.
Yeah.
Colorful, beautiful.
Sure. So like I started out, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So everyone has their different view of what beauty is. And beauty can be all kinds of different things. So while this might look like your dream front yard, my friend over here might look at that and see all of the work that would go into maintaining a space like that. So, this here too is a beautiful landscape, but maybe a lot of work. Same with this one. A lot of annual flowers in there, so you can see yourself out there in the early summer planting all of those annuals that are making up those beds there in the front. And then this, kind of brings a sense of calm. You can picture yourself walking through the forest, a lot of tranquility there. This might uplift your spirit, the happy flowers growing in the meadow. And these are Michigan landscapes, all Michigan landscapes that I'm sharing. And then maybe, this one is manicured, but also has some happy flowers. There's some forest in the background, so maybe this is a little bit of both. So the pictures I showed are, landscapes that are more manicured, beautiful yards that we might drive by a neighborhood and really admire the work that goes into maintaining those spaces. And then the natural landscapes that we come to enjoy as we walk, through the trails of Heritage Park or your local natural area that you enjoy. But we can definitely merge the two together, and it's more easy than you think. So you don't have to create a whole forest in your backyard like that one picture to enjoy the benefits of nature and to really, help live in harmony with wildlife and the ecosystems here in Farmington Hills. So having a beautiful yard, but also native habitat. So the word habitat, just briefly, does anyone know what that means? What does habitat mean to you? Home, right. So our habitat is home, and we have our habitats here in Farmington Hills, along with the plants and animals that call this their home as well, right? So we can have both of those merged together, and I just want to mention this gentleman. His name is Doug Ptolemy. Has anyone heard Doug's name before? Okay. So Doug is a wonderful gentleman that has really started a really interesting movement called the Homegrown National Parks Movement. And no, I'm not a spokesperson for Doug and his books, but I will say it's a great place to get more information and to be inspired by some of his ideas. So just the gist of it, since I don't have long with you and I don't want to take up much of your time this evening, but is to really get out of that thought that we are separate from nature, that, the national parks are a beautiful place to go visit. Heritage Park is a wonderful place to go walk after work. But we don't need to be separate, right? We don't need to live separate from our parks. We can really treat our home landscapes just as we would our natural areas and our parks that we so much enjoy. And there's really easy ways to do that. So Doug's first book that he has is called Nature's Best Hope. So I'm sure I don't have to tell you, you all watch the news, so you know that there's different birds and insects, our species are declining. There's, it's really overwhelming, all of the things that you hear about, how our environment is not at its best, and really sensitive ecosystems are on the verge of, some really dangerous thresholds. And that can be really overwhelming. But I think what is really encouraging about Doug's resources and all the other resources out there about native plants and native landscapes is he makes it really approachable and something that you can do just one step at a time. And you can do it right in your own backyard with really simple choices. It's not like going out and buying an electric car or, switching to, solar panels on your roof. Some of that seems too much, but these are really easy things. So I'll talk just a little bit about the ways that I've done that on my own Farmington Hills yard, my backyard and my front yard, to just share my journey and because I don't want to just talk the talk, right? We also want to walk the walk. So I want to share that a little bit with you before we move on to your wonderful things that you do at your homes and your businesses. So this is a Google Earth image of my house over here. Here we go. Here's me. And here's my yard. And this is a forested kind of green area back here, and there's a little creek that kind of goes through. You can see where it peaks through right here, that little creek. And the creek is going to follow the path of least resistance, right? So as storm water events increase and become more destructive to our property, where do you think this creek is going to go? Towards the houses, right? It's like, it's hard to flow over here by all these trees. I'm going to flow this way. And so there's a lot of issues with erosion and flooding in the area that I live in, Farmington Hills. And neighbors complaining about losing property upwards of 30 feet in the last 30 years. So this is because, maintaining the stream bank here has been really challenging with traditional landscaping, mowing up to the edge and things like that. And this area here is also common space, even though the homeowners are tasked with taking care of that common area. So that was back in 2018. And that's really right soon after that is when I decided we really needed to make a change. So this is the house here. You can see that little bend in the creek is still there. This is my current yard. And so some of you might be thinking, did she just fall asleep and forget to take care of her yard? No, that's not true. So a lot of thought and effort was put into restoring the backyard and the front yard to a spot where I was not just separate from nature, but also a space, a sanctuary for nature to come and invite them in. So instead of fighting the deer trying to come and eat my plants, my hostas, the salad, right, in your backyard, they were invited to come in and to do that. And the plants that were there were able to withstand those things. So kind of putting more thought into not working so hard against and really frustrating yourself, like that first picture, putting so much work and, working with nature and we're so lucky to live in the environment and the habitats that we do. So this is how things started. You can see over here the flooding that occurred every spring and even in the fall and different times of year, just mowed turf grass. I did have to kill the grass. And then what you see coming in this picture is what's known as kind of like a cover crop of ryegrass seed. And that's my kids' swimming pool. So I do have kids that want to play in the backyard. So I have to make sure that I do that as well, that I give them space to play. And now this is what it looks like currently. So, not just letting the grass grow, not allowing weeds to take over, but being thoughtful and mindful about the plants that are there. And so if you follow Doug Ptolemy, he refers to what are called keystone species, a handful of keystone species that really, if they are planted in a landscape anywhere, a habitat, will make all the difference when balancing a food web. And so if you just pick one or two of those plants and add them to your landscape, the impact that you can have on your environment is really profound. So in this space here, I do have quite a few of those keystone species. And then I thought, okay, I've done the backyard. That was my first step. And now I have to do the front yard. So this area here was all shrubs. There are still some boxwoods there that I left on the one side. You see the boxwood bushes on the right. I did take out quite a few and we redid our porch area, but you can see this was kind of the start of things a couple years ago. That was probably 2 years ago. And so now this is what it looks like. So all native plants and many keystone species. So New England aster, coreopsis, goldenrod, and also don't forget the native shrubs and things like that too, which aren't in this picture, but I do have dogwood and other keystone shrub species and trees, oaks and pines. So I know I don't want to take up your whole evening, but I just wanted to share that the possibilities with native plants, and hopefully I have made it, a realistic journey that you can take. That was pretty easy for me, and I, understand that. Your front yard, you can tell mine is more manicured than the backyard, so kind of keeping my neighbors in mind. But if you are curious and inspired or motivated by any of these pictures or what I've been speaking about, I would encourage you to research the Michigan Native Plant Producers. They're a really wonderful resource. But you can buy native plants right here in Farmington Hills. You don't have to drive very far. So we do our native plant sale at the Nature Center. We have a nature preschool there with over 70 students strong that are outside all day, every day, Monday through Friday. They're the nature warriors, are the best naturalists we have. But we do that as a fundraiser for their school. So that is in May, so you can pre-order plants with us then. If you've not visited Detroit Wildflower Nursery, they're incredible. They're right here in Farmington Hills, right just south of 696 on Orchard Lake. So I would encourage you to go there and buy plants from Mitchell. Fall is a great time to add native plants to your landscape, and he has tons of wonderful options, including those keystone species. Natural Community Services and Wild Type, if you don't want to do the work and you want to hire someone else to do it, we've worked with them quite a bit, so I would recommend them. And then the homegrownnationalparks.org is Doug's website if you want to research what he does. And then I included my email there if you have more questions. So thank you so much for having me, and I hope to see you at the Nature Center soon. I don't know if I can take questions, but I'm happy to answer or talk to you later. So thank you.
Good evening. I'm Kathy Brown, Secretary of the Farmington Hills Beautification Commission, and also corresponding Secretary of the Beautification Council of Southeastern Michigan, also known as BCSEM. I want to welcome everyone to our annual awards ceremony where we honor the owners, landscapers, members, volunteers who provide beautiful landscapes at their business, office, organization, shopping center, place of worship, and apartment, condominium, and subdivision entrances. I know there is a lot of work done in the design, planning, planting, and upkeep of these areas during the growing season. So please know that what you do to keep our city beautiful is so very much appreciated. Tonight, we'll be seeing the photos that the commissioners took during the judging of each nominee. These will be shown by category. There's 8 categories. Please hold your applause until the end of each category. Also note in your program that those participants with an asterisk in front of their name will be receiving a Continued Excellence Award certificate for 10 years or more of being recognized by the Beautification Commission, and that 10 years will also appear on their signs. After the photo of your space has been shown, you can come up to the table over there, and someone will help give you your certificate. There will be a card with it that you'll need to turn in at the table over there so that you can receive your sign after the presentation is finished. Of course, if you don't want to miss all the beautiful photos, you could always wait until the end of this presentation to pick up your certificate. So let's begin. We'll begin with the offices. There are 10 offices. The first one is the Arboretum Building. That's between 12 Mile, that's on 12 Mile between Farmington and Drake. Landscape is well maintained. Hydrangeas are a nice background for the colorful flowers. Planters are flanking the entrance, and they're very nice too. Next is Fabian, Sklar, King, and Liss. That's on the northwest corner of 12 Mile and Farmington Road. Nice hedge on 12 Mile side, lots of hosta, shrubs, annuals, and perennials. Lovely containers are found at the front entrance. Farmington Hills Corporate Center 1, that's on Haggerty, south of 9 Mile. Well-planned hardscape with colorful landscape. Ornamental grasses were very nice and well utilized. Farmington Hills Corporate Center 2 is also on Haggerty, south of 9 Mile, and it's well maintained with nice color and mature trees. Friedman Real Estate, 12 Mile east of Drake. Well kept, very nice mix of flowers and color. Black-eyed Susans near the entrance were very nice as well. JRT Agency, Haggerty south of 12 Mile. Very pretty entry garden, nice use of shrubs, perennials, and annuals. North Valley 1, northwestern south of 13 Mile. Well-kept green space and strategic use of perennials and shrubs. I want you to notice as we go through these, the signs. There's some just lovely signs at the condominiums and the subdivisions, just beautiful. North Valley 2, northwestern south of 13 Mile. Small garden, but very neat and well kept. Spectrum Office Center, northwestern between Middle Belt and 14. Hydrangeas galore, lots of perennials, gardens with a few annuals. Ward Eagle, southwest corner of 14 and Middle Belt. Beautiful front garden, lots of hydrangeas, iris, hosta, and daylilies. I like the way the red petunias complement the red door. That's really pretty. Yay, so let's give them a hand for that. Our next category only has 2 nominees, and that's apartment entrances. We have Carrington Place, northeast corner of Freedom and Drake. The circular garden bed in front of the building is planted all the way around with daylilies, and I'm not sure what that little red and white is, but that's just so pretty. I really like that. And Lakeview Apartment, Middle Belt south of 10 Mile. Flower beds at the entrance of the apartment complex are very colorful and nicely planted. Pages are a little hard to get apart. Don't want to miss anybody. Oh, we have one organization, and that is Finlandia Gardens of the Finnish Center, 8 Mile west of Gill. A wide variety of unique plants, shrubs, and flowers separated into different gardens with themes all over the large property. A true gardener's heaven. And shopping centers, there's one nominee there as well. Marketplace Specialty Center. That's on Orchard Lake south of 13. A well-maintained and pleasant appearance of 10 flower and tree beds in a limited space along a very busy commercial street. I'm sure you've all seen this, and it's just delightful. We have 12 condominium entrances. This is Chestnut Ridge. Can you all hear me okay? I know I'm going in and out, but okay. Halstead north of 12 Mile. Beautifully maintained property, red and white begonias, purple salvia, large hydrangea, and trimmed boxwood. Copper Creek Community Association, 12 Mile west of Halstead. Well-planned hardscape in landscape design, and it's well-maintained, too. Unfortunately, with all the wet weather we had this year, there's a lot of weed growth. I know you know all this. So it's hard to keep things nice and tidy. Essex Club, Halstead north of 12 Mile, red and white begonias, well-maintained greenery, salvia, hosta, catmint, allium, and nicely trimmed shrubs. Fairways of Farmington Hills, Halstead between 11 and 12 Mile roads. Very nice mix of softscape, including flowers, bushes, and trees. And their floral variety includes wildflowers. Yay! Very well maintained. Greenpoint at Copper Creek, 13 Mile west of Halstead. Pink and white begonias, black-eyed Susan, grasses, and hydrangea make up a well-maintained, inviting entrance. Heatherwood Condominium Association, Middle Belt north of 12 Mile. Very well-maintained landscape, thoughtful mix of plants, including bushes and trees, and very inviting. Meadow Ridge. That's a mouthful. Yay! Middle Belt north of 11 Mile. Nice use of ornamental grasses, black-eyed Susans. Nice pop of color at the road. Nova Woods, 13 Mile west of Drake. Well maintained with a variety of plantings. Pink petunia, blue salvia, hosta, and a beautiful large hydrangea. Pine Knolls, Middle Belt between 12 and 13 Mile. Landscape neatly maintained and a nice mix of hardscape shrubs, bushes, and trees neatly trimmed. Bramblewood, 14 Mile east of Halstead. Threadleaf coreopsis, white and red begonia, purple salvia, and red-tip grasses with boxwood and burning bush make up a well-maintained entrance. Sierra Point, 13 Mile in Halstead. A variety of colorful plantings, red and white begonia, roses, hosta, hydrangea, Shasta daisy, and boxwood. Timbercrest, 12 Mile east of Middle Belt. Well-maintained landscape, good color at the road, and I like the way they striped the flowers. Aren't those, isn't that cool? Give all these people a hand. So our next category is places of worship, and there are 4 of those. Farmington Hills Church of Christ, Drake and Halstead, area and parking lot like a mini park with beds of flowers and small paved walkways and benches. Orchard United Methodist Church, Farmington south of 14. Multiple areas of well-maintained flower beds with a large variety of flowers. On the side of the property is an attractive gated mini park with brick-paved walkways, benches, and a small waterfall. Love waterfalls. St. Fabian Catholic Church and School, 12-mile between Orchard Lake and Farmington Road. Large and attractive flower beds around the church office with benches and statues. There are also additional flower beds around the church with a very large variety of flowers and plants. Narden Park United Methodist Church, 11-mile between Orchard Lake and Middle Belt, with a flower bed in front of the church. We have 7 businesses in that category. American House, Middle Belt north of 10 Mile. Beautiful display of shrubs with several hydrangeas. I love hydrangeas, and so do the deer in my yard. I don't even remember what color they are now. They've eaten them. Corwell Commons, Tuck and Folsom. A large entry garden, large hosta, couple of perennials, yarrow, and daylilies. Farmer John's Greenhouse, Haggerty south of 12 Mile. Beautiful gardens along Haggerty and Hills Tech Road. The building looks like a home. There are trees, shrubs, perennials, and annuals. And I'm sure you've all visited Farmer John's at one time or another. At this, let's see, Grand River, Fox Buick GMC. Grand River north of Industrial. Beautiful floral display across the front of the business. Large established perennials and shrubs. Lots of hosta. Illuminating Concepts, 10 Mile east of Orchard Lake. Large variety of shrubs and trees with a few annuals and perennials. McCabe Funeral Home, 12 Mile west of Orchard Lake. Absolutely gorgeous gardens packed with crabapple trees, begonias, assorted shrubs, and beautiful hydrangeas. Suburban Imports of Farmington Hills, Grand River and 10 Mile. Good use of grass, shrubs, perennials, and annuals. The hydrangeas are beautiful. At this time, I'm going to ask Betty Poole to come to the podium and present the Commissioner's Award.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to present the Farmington Hills Beautification Commission Award to Farmer John Greenhouse and Garden Center. It's located on Haggerty Road at Hills Tech. And it's an example of beautifully designed and cared for gardens. And he's not here, but I'm going to read my spiel anyways because I've practiced so many times. So, you'll find this interesting. I did. Mr. and Mrs. Zoner opened up the plant stand in 1978. I think I was there. I swear I was there. Yeah. It is a family-owned business in its 13th generation of running the company, and all the way they've been growing every year. Over the years, it has evolved into a beautiful garden center. It used to be just annuals and perennials. Now they have added trees, shrubs, tropical plants, decorative items, seasonal plants, seasonal displays, outdoor furniture, grills, and in the last couple of years, they've added a lovely boutique for ladies' clothing and accessories. And they're having an open house on November 1st to the 3rd, so you might want to go. So, if he was here, I would get him this.
They have a nice Christmas sale, too, of all sorts of decorations. So now comes subdivisions, and there's 17 of those. So, Barrington Green, 12 mile west of Drake. They planted both sides of the street, and it's a welcoming entrance. Dunbar Oaks, Drake, south of 13 Mile, meticulously maintained with colorful flowers and larger plants behind. A central boulevard planted with an island divides the entrance and exit roads. A lot of plants, really nice. Farmington Brook, Haggerty, south of 13. Central island with Farmington Brooks etched into a massive boulder. And it's nicely surrounded by shrubbery, hydrangea, daylilies, hosta, and a little bit of grasses. Farmington Green, 12 mile east of Drake, welcoming landscaped entrance, provides transition from busy 12 Mile Road. Trees, shrubs, decorative rocks, and hedges at this major two-road entrance at Bunker Hill. The White Plains entrance has a rustic design with shrubbery and a scenic ranch fence. Farmington Ridge, Glens, Groves, north of 13, west of Halsted. Simple but clean layout, colorful flowers, and unique design. Farmington Square, 9 Mile in Halsted. The entrances mostly contain the same design. There's several entrances, I believe, and provide continuity. Large boulders define the space, and hosta, rudbeckia, boxwood, and beautiful hydrangeas are nicely placed and even circle around the back of one of the signs, which you don't usually see, but I liked it. The Forest of Hunters Point, Drake, north of 13 Mile. The entrance incorporates a main sidewalk that is recessed from Drake Road, giving the walkway a park-like feel, and it's surrounded by plant beds and shrubs. Green Hill Woods, 9 Mile west of Drake. Nicely trimmed boxwoods and shrub design complement the lovely brick sign. Impatiens and periwinkles grace the back of the brick edging blocks to bring a snap of color. Halsted Hills, Halsted north of 12 Mile. Trees, shrubs, decorative stone, and hydrangeas provide a stately entrance. Halsted Hollow, Halsted north of 8 Mile. Nice sign with white fences wrapping around the corners and down each side of the entryway. Sedum, begonia, stelladoro, euonymus, I always have problems with that word, hydrangea, grasses, barberry, roses, pachysandra, shrub, and boxwood grace the area. Holly Hills Farms, Middle Belt, south of 13 Mile, north of 12 Mile. Tall grasses blend well with the hosta, rudbeckia, periwinkle, daylilies, holly, and stone-crop sedum. And these are their two entrances. They have two entrances. Hunters Point, 11 miles east of Halsted. Entrance with stones, brick sign, trees, plantings, rocks. Larger decorative area at Andover with Central Island and plantings on both sides. Kimberly Subdivision, Middle Belt and 11 Mile. After a messy water main replacement, Yes, at several of their entrances. Kimberly Volunteer and his family have completely redone the entrance plantings with boxwood, marigold, roses, begonia, peony, and iris. And hand watering the 4 entrances is quite a chore. Yeah. Strathmore, 13 mile east of Haggerty. Colorful and well-maintained, beautiful flowers, very inviting, and volunteers did a great job. And Three Oaks, Farmington north of 13. Well-maintained and colorful shrubs and flowers, simple but pleasing design, neat and tidy. Very clean, and both sides look alike and look great. Whispering Woods Estates, Halstead north of 12 Mile. Clean format with signs at each of the entrances, colorful flowers, and is neatly maintained. Woodland Trails, 13 between Drake and Halstead. Large round plot surrounds the sign with hosta, boxwood, lady's mantle, ageratum, and beautiful large oakwood hydrangea is back by the pine trees. That's the end of the photo presentation. So I will hand this back to Alex. And just remember, there's cake over there.
So everyone, the commission would like to thank all of you for your exceptional efforts doing your plantings and keeping the entrances of your place of worship, your neighborhoods, and your offices so exceptionally pretty as can be seen by the photos that we've shown. In closing, I hope that you enjoyed our awards ceremony. We'd like to thank the Planning and Community Department staff, especially our city staff liaison, Tracy Emanuel, in the back there, and the Secretary of the Department, Jerry LaBelle. Thank you both. Thank you both for your exceptional efforts. I don't think we could have done this without the help of both of you. Also, thanks to the staff of the special events and the video department for its work as well. We also thank the staff here at Longacre House. This is my first time here, and this is definitely a beautiful venue, so we certainly appreciate that. So thanks everyone for attending. Please make sure that you've visited the dessert table if you haven't done so already. Our next events for the Beautification Commission is the April 26th Carol Posby Litter Walk for 2025, and then on May 10 we have a plant swap at Heritage Park, I believe. Please make sure that before you leave that you pick up your certificates and your signs before you leave, and please display it proudly on your property. Glad you came, and please have a safe trip home.